Had him knocked away. Here's Dwyer. Dwyer into the zone. Dwyer flipped it to the corner. Picked up by Mangelli. Mangelli tried to backhand it out of the zone. Out ahead, Wardlow. Wardlow ahead for Behrens over them with the pass. Wallace brought it in the zone. Wallace tried to find Behrens. Just misconnections. Gustafson to far side. McHugh up to Marut. Marut didn't get it out of the zone. Held him by Mangelli. Picked up by Gustafson. Gustafson around to Skoglund. Skoglund on the near side. Fed it out and bounces out to center ice. Brought to the near side, Buddy Wallace. Gustafson to Dwyer. Dwyer had it swept away from him into the zone. Kyle O'Keefe gave it to Colson. Colson with the shot to save. Puck got caught up in his skate and cleared away. Here come the Ramblers the other way. Jack Colson dumped into the zone. Stedman left it back behind the net. Over on the near side, right in front of the Loyola bench. Chevicek thrown in there. Second one by Trip Bobby. Kyle O'Keefe trying to skate it out. Colson up ahead a little too far. Took the man. Dave Young couldn't get the puck. Now picked up by Kyle O'Keefe. Dumped it to the Ramblers' blue line. Controlled there by Kevin Davis to the near side. Trip Bobby. Bobby up ahead had it knocked away from him. And back goes Jeff Jacobs. Jacobs got bumped off the puck. Deep to the side. Heavy checked on in there. Ramblers are going to get a penalty on Trip Bobby for high sticking. Bobby a minor for high sticking. Time of the penalty 12:28. And Bobby will sit for 2. Got the man on the initial check, but had the stick up high around the head. And the penalty. And we're set. The drop and the draw. Near side, Mangelli to the corner. Ramblers with the man in the box. Centering attempt right through Skoglund's skates. He deflected it actually up to the slot and now cleared out of there by Loyola. Wardlow tried to feed it ahead for Behrens. Brown, heavy check by Mangelli, nothing called. Near side, Mike Clardy dumped it into the zone. Back behind the net, left there by Weeks. Skoglund fed it to the near side. Clardy to Behrens. Sean Behrens back to behind the net to the far side through traffic, and Behrens controls. Sean Behrens up to the point, held in by Mangelli. Mangelli, now Brown, got it out to the blue line, near side Clardy. Clardy cranks, and Brown was there to deflect it away. Clardy tries again. Center, backdoor shot, save. Bouncing puck, Mangelli in the corner. Picked up and cleared by Andy Skoglund. Stedman leaves it back behind the net. Mike Clardy will set up the breakout. 45 seconds left on the minor. Taken to the far side, and Sandin. Heinrich Sandin brings it up the ice. Sandin with McCarthy right into the slot and cleared out to the point. Held in the zone by Tom Clardy. Back wrapped around the net. Jeff Jacobs. Jacobs to Sandin. He had it knocked off his stick. Picked up by Davis. Held in the zone by Turnberg. Near side, Tom Clardy ricocheted it wide. And now McCarthy dumps and clears right into the Fremd bench. And got Randy Vogel, the assistant coach of the Fremd Vikings. Randy's a referee. Used to be a referee. I don't know if he still is. Used to be a referee back in my early days of hockey. So I know he's used to getting those shots. Cranked out of the zone by McCarthy, Brendan McCarthy. Cleared out to the point. Held in by Tom Clardy. Clardy dumped it around on the far side. The penalty now over. Back behind the net, Heinrich Sandin. Centered. Shot. The save off the post, I think. I think that one went off the post. Up ahead, here's Dwyer. Dwyer around the man. Dwyer in. Deflected away by Stedman. Brought to the near side, Sika. Sika wraps it around to the far side. Out it to the point. Gustafson Gustafson right into the slot. Dribbles. Oh, just wide of the post. Second time grabbed and held on by Stedman as it came back. Some of the Loyola crowd on hand for this one tonight. .10:01 to play here in the first period. No score. And the face-off coming up right down here on that far side. Louis Colson will face off with Trey Lutweiler. Offside at the face-off. On the near side. And the Ramblers change it up. Put Mike Brown over here. Now the draw kept in by Davis, the defenseman, to the near side Mangelli. Up ahead and overlet on the pass. Down into the Ramblers' end. Back goes Kevin Davis. Brought to the near side. On that near side corner. Ramblers controlled. Little push thrown in there by Kyle O'Keefe. Colson right through the slot. Out to the slot, and here are the Ramblers back the other way. Dumped into the zone. Lutweiler got knocked out. Got a penalty coming up on Kyle O'Keefe for holding. Kyle O'Keefe, a minor for holding. Time of the penalty, 9:24. And the Ramblers will have their first man advantage of the evening. No score in the Scholastic Cup here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Face-off coming on that far side. There's the shot, the save, the shot taken at the point by Gustafson. Marut out to Skoglund. His cranker booms wide. Back over to Gustafson. And McHugh's lost his stick. Knocked away from McHugh. That's an interference call. Supposed to be. Skoglund shot, saved. Got a penalty coming up. We got another penalty coming up for tripping on Mike Clardy of Fremd. So Fremd going to be two men down. Mike Clardy gets a minor for tripping at 8:57. And it should stay in the zone. Oh, no, because the defenseman came in. All right. I'm trying to figure out why that faceoff moved outside the zone. Moved outside the zone because the defenseman came in. Now we have problems setting up the penalty on the clock. We also have a broken stick out there. These two teams have met before. They met in the Heart Association tournament. And they are still having trouble figuring out how to put it up on the clock. They forgot to move the arrow. Anyway, as we said, these two teams have met before, and the Loyola Ramblers came out the worst for wear in that one. If I remember correctly, the score was 5-2 or 5-3, and it was really a 3-minute span. Now they drop and they draw. Skoglund dumped it into the zone. Buddy Wallace bumped by Marut. McHugh. Ramblers with the two-man advantage. Brought to the near side. McHugh bouncing puck. McHugh and Wallace. Dwyer. John Dwyer out to the point. Skoglund. Skoglund cranks the shot today. Rebound shot. Grabbed and held on by Stedman. On the second shot by Marut. And now Wallace and McHugh have a little to do back behind the net. Nothing called. And the net moved. And they'll fix it up. They'll take McHugh off. And now we're set 5-on-3. Favor of the Ramblers on the ice. No score. Lutweiler. Skoglund gave it up to Sean Behrens. Now picked up by Lutweiler. Lutweiler into the zone. Takes the crank of the save. Brought to the near side. Sean Behrens. Behrens will rag the puck, trying to kill off the penalties. Sean Behrens works it again. Behrens into the zone. Behrens try to sweep around Skoglund. Skoglund comes up with it. Back come the Ramblers the other way. Andy Skoglund cranks it, and the save by Stedman to the far side. Mangelli, who clears it out of the rink. .27 seconds left on the first penalty and 54 seconds left on the second against the Fremd Vikings. Now we're set for the face-off. The draw out to the high slot. Davis cranks, over-cranked it, back to Stedman, and he holds it. Danny Brash out there tonight. Brash playing with the bum flipper this evening. Had a shoulder separation injury. And he will take the face-off near side Lutweiler. Lutweiler to the far side. Stop, shot save, rebounds to the corner. Picked up by Wardlow. And Matt Palmer held it in the zone. Brash. Coulson. Turnberg brought it to the near side. Lutweiler. Trey Lutweiler. First penalty's over. Brash. Playing with it. Looking for Coulson. Coulson. Turnberg. Now Tom Wardlow for the Vikings out to the point. Held in the zone by the Ramblers. Wrapped it around. Near side, Kevin Davis. Davis flipped it in deep. Lutweiler. Lutweiler shot. The save by Stedman. Jack Coulson. Down the man goes. Dirk Turnberg feeds it ahead for Sean Behrens. Here's Behrens into the zone. There's the shot, and that boomed wide. Dumped around to the far side. And back to the near side. All the penalties now over. Turnberg out for McCarthy. Dumped it into the zone. Marut having trouble clearing the zone. Here's Buddy Wallace. Wallace for Fremd. Dumps it into the zone and goes off on the line change. Weeks leaves it back behind the net. Picked up by Skoglund. Skoglund sets it up. Brings it up the ice. Skoglund to Brown. Brown ahead for Marut. Marut back to Brown. Brown breaks in. Shoots. Save by Stedman. Now on the near side, here's Jeff Jacobs. Jeff Jacobs into the slot. Nobody there. Now Senden down. No penalty called. Brought on the near side. Centering attempt misconnections out to the point and all the way down, and that's going to be icing against Loyola. Icing against Loyola. 5:38 to play here in the period. And I don't think they know how to take penalties off the clock over there. Wrapped around to the far side. Mike Mack couldn't keep it in the zone. Here's Dwyer, Sandin. Heinrich Sandin back in for Fremd. Sandin had it flipped away from him. Mack to the corner, Sandin. Tried to feed it up ahead, and here come the Ramblers the other way. Kim into the zone. Kim bothered by Mack. They bring it to the corner. Picked away and back the other way comes Jeff Jacobs. Jeff Jacobs crosses the red line, dumps it in. Gustafson to the near side. Dwyer fed ahead for Kim. Peter Kim into the zone. Kim dropped it. Dwyer the shot to save and held on by Stedman. The Fremd Vikings and the Loyola Ramblers battling for the Scholastic Cup. And we're set for the face-off coming down here in front of us. 4:46 to play in the period. Kyle O'Keefe brought it to the near side. Up ahead, Lou Colson. Colson to the corner. O'Keefe back to Colson. Back to Kyle O'Keefe on the far side. Tried to center it. Knocked away from him. Colson. And picked it clear by Lou Colson. Mike Clardy. Clardy dumps it into the zone back behind the net. Trip Bobby. Near side. And Lutweiler tried to find the far side, ran off a skate all the way down into the Fremd end. Buddy Wallace into the zone. Wallace shot, save. Pulled free by Brown. Around to the far side. Back in Wardlow. There's a shot, the save, second shot. Oh, and it just dribbles wide. And now the moving net causes the stoppage of play. The moving net causes the stoppage of play. .344 to play here in the first period. No score. The Scholastic Cup Championship. We've gone down the 60-odd teams of Metro, varsity and junior varsity, to come to this. The top two teams for this year playing for the Scholastic Cup. The 21st anniversary season of the Scholastic Cup. On the far side, the Boomer, that's wide. Backdoor, and that just missed off the side of the net by Buddy Wallace. Now Wallace and Skoglund kicked free. Dwyer, Sean Behrens came in there. The puck's still free. Now Dwyer pulled it out of there. Dwyer bothered by Behrens, but John Dwyer fed it ahead and overled McHugh on a bouncing puck. Now McCarthy dumped it into the zone on a pass intended for Dwyer. Near side, McHugh right into the slot. Knocked free, Wallace. Buddy Wallace playing around with it. Wardlow into the zone. Andy Skoglund. Skoglund up to Mangelli. The shot, the save through traffic. And now some pushing and shoving after the play. Out in the slot, there was some stuff and some extracurricular activity, but the two linesmen were so busy watching and protecting the goalie, they weren't out at the high slot. I'd say we're fairly close to having a full house around here tonight. And there's certainly no room left, I don't think, over here to our right. And it looks like we're all the way to the far wall to our left here tonight at Centennial. So we'd be somewhere, I'd say, close to 700 or 800. Here. And the Loyola fans behind us beginning a cheering. Kevin Davis picked free. And now down the far side, Ed Marute. Mangeli cleared it ahead for Sandin. Then Jacobs had it briefly. Sandin had it again. And the whistle and the offside, I believe. Darius Sika in a little bit ahead of the play, I believe. .221 left here in the first period. Now the face-off is controlled by the Fremd Vikings, dumped in by Mangeli. Davis went under his stick. Now Brown ran it into the referee, out ahead on the clearing pass, and now dumped into the zone by Danny Brash. Mike Mack. Brown knocked down, nothing called, over to the far side. Mangeli, and knocked out by Lutweiler. And Lutweiler and Mangeli say something to each other. Officially down the network line. We want to let our stations know down the network line. We have one more game, a quarterfinal game from the state playoffs that we will be carrying on the network. After that, we will have other games, special games. We'll let you know those as we get there. Into the zone. Lutweiler dropped past it. Brown out to the point. Trip Bobby shot, saved. Backhand attempt and from the slot, and now picked away Lutweiler. Brought it into the zone, delay offside. Everybody tagged up and was fine. Brought to the near side, held in the zone. Sean Behrens with a little dipsy-doodle move. Sean Behrens to the far side, Wardlow. Wardlow dropped past it. There's the shot, the save, and held on by Andy Weeks. And then Behrens and Trip Bobby have another little to-do. The two of them have been involved in a couple of those tonight. Some glaring and sticks up after the whistle. The face-off controlled by the Ramblers. Out to the point and outside the blue line. Dumped back in, delay offside. Adam Gustafson to the far side. Up ahead for McHugh into the zone. Dwyer booms it wide. Far side, O'Keefe brought it back in offside on the part of the Ramblers. Under a minute to play here in the period. Back to Gustafson. Marute into the zone. Back behind to the far side. Dave Young brought it over here to the near side. Marute labeled Dave Young. Dwyer. Now Mangeli. And a whistle. We have a penalty coming up. John Dwyer for elbowing. John Dwyer, a minor for elbowing. Time of the penalty, 37 seconds. And the face-off will move outside the zone. Dwyer got his elbows up as he gave that check into the corner. and the minor for elbowing. This referee, McLaughlin, reminds me of an old referee that we used to have. Looked like he was delivering a pizza every time he called a penalty, because his hand would be outraised. Old referee that used to be here. Lives in Florida now. Mangelli back past it. Sean Barron's back past it to Wardlow, who brought it into the zone. Wardlow got around the first man out to the point to the high slot. Buddy Wallace ran into traffic near side. Heavy check from behind. Wasn't called. Back around to the far side. Out to the point. Wallace to Mangelli. The shot, the save. Back around near side. Out at the point. Mangelli to Sandin. Give and go in there. Back to the far side. Back door. Out Mangelli. Whistle. And wouldn't have counted man in the crease, I believe. As the period comes to an end. At the end of the first period of play here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network, the score is the Loyola Ramblers nothing and the Fremd Vikings nothing. We'll be back with the second period. I got so excited I didn't realize by the whistle. No score at the end of the first period. We'll be back with the second period in just a moment. This is the Metro Championship game between the Loyola Ramblers Gold Team and the Fremd Vikings. No score. John Dwyer has a minute 23 left on his minor. And the draw is brought here to the near side. And dumped down by Brandon McCarthy. Back behind the net. And Jelly has it there. Sean Barron's overskated it in the corner. Sean Barron sets it up again. Here's Sean Barron straight ahead. Barron's into the zone. Sean Barron's for Fremd. Looks to center, rags it back behind the Loyola goal to the far side. Wardlow back to Barron's. Barron's tries for the shovel, look for the back door. Sandin, we're over to the far side, and Jelly kept it in. Wardlow to Sandin. Heinrich Sandin. Back for Sean Barron's. Barron's looks, goal! On the wraparound. Power play goal by Sean Barron's on the little wraparound, and it's 1-0. On the goal by Sean Barron's, assist to Mangelli and Wardlow, I believe. I believe that's the way it should go. Or maybe Sandin and Wardlow. Here's Colson. Louis Colson now picked away by Gustafson. Up ahead. Knocked down on the pass, a long shot. The save by Weeks. Gustafson, Lutweiler. Clarity. Picked free. Ramblers 3-on-1 if they hurry it. Lutweiler to the far side. Dwyer back. Shot a goal! No, it was off the post. That looked like it went in all the way through. I thought that went in, didn't it? Whistle. Didn't that one go in? I thought that one went in on the back. He said no. He called it no. Now the faceoff out to the slot, dumped into the zone by Lutweiler. Lutweiler back behind the net. Lutweiler tried to find Dwyer. O'Keefe had it briefly. Now Dwyer right in front. Shot. Save. Goal! Rich McHugh with the goal from the slot. found Rich McHugh all alone in the slot. Rich McHugh found John Dwyer found Rich McHugh all alone in the slot. And McHugh put it home. We're tied at 1. Brought over on that far side. Dumped into the zone by the Ramblers. Dirk Turnberg. Turnberg with Marut near side Wardlow. Wardlow will look for Sean Behrens, the center. Wardlow into the zone himself. Drop pass over Behrens. Behrens shot. The save by Andy Weeks. And he holds on. And they're going to, here we go, face off coming up right down. Near side, Turnberg. Sean Behrens. And a penalty to Wardlow for tripping. Tom Wardlow with a minor for tripping at 11:55 of the period. And there is not much room left in this place tonight. And we're set. I don't know what the discussion was, but the discussion with the referee out here delays it. Wardlow minor for tripping right along the boards here in front of us. Now the face-off to Sean Behrens. Behrens sets it up, 1-1 tie. Behrens to the far side. Brash, Danny Brash, fed it ahead and missed the pass, and here comes Sean Behrens. Behrens 2-on-2. Behrens tried to go around the man. Behrens back behind the net. Behrens, short shot, saved, and cleared out to center ice. Davis. Kevin Davis ahead and underled the pass right into Behrens. Behrens stops. Behrens shot off. Just shot it wide. Now try for the shovel shot. And the save. Back behind the net. The Ramblers with the man advantage. Getting a little discombobulated. Heavy check. Another heavy check thrown in there on Bobby. Brash up ahead for Bobby. Bobby fed it to the far side and Lutweiler. Then Bobby and Behrens having some trouble untangling themselves. Picked up by the Fremd Vikings, and they clear it. Behrens and Bobby have another little to-do. Back behind the net. Heavy check on Lutweiler, thrown by Mangelli. Watched by McLaughlin. Now back behind the plate, and Jelly takes another run. Over here on the near side. Here's Dwyer to the far side, and a shot into the zone by Skoglund. We've got two broken sticks out there, and knocked out of the ring. Have an injury on the Loyola bench. I can't see who it is. Lutweiler. 30 seconds left on the minor to Wardlow. And a game that is getting a little feisty out there. Bodies being thrown around a little bit. My voice is beginning to crack. Yeah, okay, we're set for the face-off. On that far side, no, we're not ready for it. Now the draw is out to center ice. Skoglund. Ahead, Marut. Dwyer at the red line. Dwyer around the man, back out to the red line where Gustafson has it. Gustafson to the far side and Skoglund. Skoglund up ahead for Dwyer, back to Skoglund. Andy Skoglund brings it to the near side. Dumped in by Rich McHugh. Back around behind the net. John Dwyer. Dwyer out to Skoglund. The cranker, the save by Stedman. Sandin clears it out to the red line. Gustafson. Now Rich McHugh. Centering pass, buzzed up by Sandin. Gustafson goes down, shot. They save the puck free, but the whistle. And now all the feistiness, little extracurricular activity after the play. .9:36 to play here in the period. We're in the second period, a 1-1 tie. Goal by Rich McHugh and a goal by Sean Behrens. And now we're waiting for the drop of the puck, the drop and the draw, the shot right off the face-off and clamped down to the ice by Stedman. We'll do it all over again. Hope you have enjoyed our broadcast all season long down the network line. As we mentioned to you, we have just one more officially down the line. Controlled by Fremd. Into the zone. A shot. The puck dribbles to the side and held on by Weeks as Jeff Jacobs slid it into the slot. Our last game will be the quarterfinal game between the winner of the Loyola Gold Lake Forest game. The Loyola Gold and the Glenbrook North games. Whoever wins those two in the playdown round will play on our next broadcast on the quarterfinals. Into the zone comes Brown. Mike Brown tried to split the defense. Pulled free. Near side, Tom Wardlow. Wardlow with a little bust towards the goal. Wardlow with a backhand shot off the base of the net. Kim has it on the near side. Peter Kim tried to feed it up ahead. Did so to Kevin Davis, the defenseman, who got it to the blue line. Sort of sat there. High hit on Buddy Wallace. McHugh with the cranker, the save. The backhand couldn't get the rebound. Brown couldn't get the rebound. Near side, Davis. Back around behind the net to the far side. McHugh centered. Here's Tom Wardlow. Wardlow has it. Wardlow just shovels it out ahead. Here's Davis. Kevin Davis on the far side. Matt Palmer. Matt Palmer dumped into the zone. And Mike Mack. Mack got bumped by Cozen. Puck squirts to the near side. Out to the point and cleared all the way down. They'll wash off the icing. Matt Palmer. Palmer fed it to the far side and Skoglund. Skoglund off a helmet. Cozen. Lutweiler. Back into the zone. McHugh tried to drop pass it. McHugh centered out to the point. Directed bouncing puck. Lutweiler near side. Sean Behrens will chase it down in the corner. Now picked up at the point, held in by Skoglund on that near side board. And they're still playing with it along the near side boards. Trying to pull it free. And the whistle finally blows it down somewhere in there. I'd never heard the whistle. But in any case, the puck was frozen along the near side boards. .7:41 to play here in the period. 1-1 tie on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Now the draw, Sika missed it, swatting at it. So did Brandon McCarthy. Here's Skoglund from the high slot, deflected up over the net, back behind the net. Kicked free by Clarity and controlled by the Fremd Vikings, who bring it up the ice. Here's Sean Behrens, 2-on-4. Behrens got bumped out. Knocked down. Near side, Brendan McCarthy with a heavy check. Back around behind the net over to the far side. Skoglund. Andy Skoglund brings it up the ice halfway through the regulation time. Shot and a save. Stedman didn't control it, but it went to the corner. Turnberg with a heavy check. Got checked heavily by Mangelli. Turnberg back behind the net. Wrapped around to the near side. Sandin. Turnberg up ahead, and again Sean Behrens bumped off the puck. Gustafson to the far side. Skoglund dumped it into the Fremd end. Turnberg up ahead. Lou Colson. Colson into the zone. Colson tried to turn the corner. Colson right through the slot near side. Rich McHugh. McHugh ahead for Mike Brown. Mike Brown brings it up. Brown dumps it into the zone and then got bumped by Colson and a second time by Mangelli. Brought to the near side. O'Keefe off him and out to center ice. Into the zone, Dave Young. Colson. Skoglund picked away. Here's Gustafson. Gustafson couldn't get around the man. Near side, Young. He got bumped twice, once by Skoglund, the other one by Gustafson. Into the slot. Shot saved by Weeks. Both defensemen were over here on the near side. Here's McHugh with the breakaway. Rich McHugh into the zone. McHugh shot. Oh, shot it wide. Dave Young out to Brown. Brown shot, ran into traffic off a leg deep to the corner. Tom Clardy out to the point. Brendan McCarthy shot, ran into traffic out high. Around to the far side, and Kyle O'Keefe out and cleared to center ice. Picked up by Trip Bobby. Now Kyle O'Keefe for Fremd, offside. And O'Keefe and Bobby glare at each other over on that far side. .5:18 to play here in the period. Faceoff moves outside the zone on the offside. We have with us up here tonight, we have a regular press box with press crew. The Tribune and Pioneer Press on hand for this evening. I'm sure the Herald is here somewhere, but they didn't come up to the press area. Ed Maroon, and now whistle, and offside against Fremd. In the meantime, Buddy Wallace and Trip Bobby got themselves entangled back outside the line. The linesman was there and decided not to call anything. He can whistle that down if he feels like it. Here's McHugh. Give it back to the defense, and the Fremd Vikings in. Buddy Wallace with the shot, the save. On the far side, held in the zone by Mike Mack and cleared by the Ramblers. Back behind the play again. Some silliness as Mack and Colson got entangled a little bit. Back goes Trip Bobby. Cleared ahead. Here's Sean Behrens. Near side, Kim. Sean Behrens. Behrens fanned on the puck. Dwyer. John Dwyer up ahead for Kim. Now Dwyer has it again. Dwyer into the zone. They crank her. Boom, wide. Brought on to the near side. And Sean Behrens. Sean Behrens tries a little dipsy doodle move. Behrens again. Behrens had it knocked off his stick and dumped into the zone up high as the Vikings make a line change. Fremd makes the line change. Skoglund, Dwyer, Lutweiler. Lutweiler dumps it into the zone. Back around behind the net, Mangelli. Jim Mangelli had his pocket picked. Sandin with the run. Davis kept it in the zone over to the far side. Sika to the near side. Sandin put himself offside.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Roenick. You watch.
Yeah, we're set for the face-off coming up right down below us here. There's some strange cheers going on behind us here. Skoglund out to the point. Turnberg, Marut strong-armed it out to center ice. Looking for Brown. Brown in. Brown and Wallace took him off the play. Behrens. And then took him to the corner, actually. Near side. And here's Wardlow. Tom Wardlow into the zone. Wardlow for Behrens. Tried to give it back. Wallace kept it in the zone. Wardlow. Behrens. Near side. Gustafson bumped by Behrens. And another heavy check out at the point. McHugh. Brown. McHugh can't get the stick down. Neither can Turnberg. They skate it in their skates to the red line and then to the Vikings blue line. And Wardlow busts it back the other way. Tom Wardlow to the slot. Far side. Behrens in. Shot. Goal! Sean Behrens with his second. Sean Behrens puts it home, and it's 2-0 Fremd. 2-1 Fremd. Did I say 2-0? 2-1 Fremd. Sean Behrens. Wardlow set it up. Behrens picked up the puck on the far slot, in the slot, and brought it home on Weeks. 2:28 to play here in the second period. 2-1 Fremd. Now we are ready for the face-off. Dump to the blue line. Flip down into the zone. And offside. And now Young and McCarthy had a little to do in the slot. Sufficient to call the penalty. And coincidental penalties coming up on Brandon McCarthy and Dave Young, I would think, for roughing. Make them both unsportsmanlike conducts. Coincidental unsportsmanlike conduct at 2:20. As in, they said something about parentage to each other. Zero tolerance for that this year in the state of Illinois. Now the face-off out for Palmer, brought to the near side and picked up by Tom Clardy. Clardy fed it up ahead. Here come the Vikings, dumped into the zone. That's going to be icing. No. Yep, it is. And then Colson puts a little nudge in there on Matt Palmer after the play. They forgot the puck. Both of them on both of the penalties on sportsmanlike, so we skate equal on the ice. Jeff Jacobs. Jacobs lost his stick. Clardy dumped it into the zone. Back behind the net. Weeks, Palmer, Jeff Jacobs. Jacobs, and picked away by Dwyer. John Dwyer. Dwyer into the zone. John Dwyer tried a sweep move around Clardy. Tom Clardy couldn't do so and cleared. Back goes Kevin Davis. Davis in his own zone, fed it to the far side. Skoglund. Skoglund backhanded it out to center ice. Dump right back in. Skoglund has it again. Skoglund, Kim brought it facing the wrong way back into his own zone. To the far side, Dwyer fed it ahead for Lutweiler. Lutweiler into the zone. Shot and the save on the weak shot. We're down to about a minute to play in the period. The second period, 2-1. Near side, Skoglund. Kim, bothered by Behrens. Skoglund. Sean Behrens shoveled far side into the slot. Shot it wide, a whistle, and a stoppage of play. Net move, stoppage of play. You're watching the Scholastic Cup playoff on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Championship game, the Cup game. This is our 6th year of doing this one. Shot and a save. Wallace out to the point. Mangelli. Bouncing puck back behind the net. Wardlow has it for Fremd. Out to the point. Mangelli. Ran into traffic. Bouncing to the far side. Behrens whistled it wide. The puck sits on the goal line on the far side. Now here's McHugh out to Mack. Mack actually got speared a little bit by Colson. Near side, Wardlow. McHugh. Far side, Mike Brown. Brown, if he comes up with it, fanned on the puck, and then got bumped by Mack, and a whistle as the horn sounds, ending the second period. At the end of the second period of play here on the Metro Chicago Sports Network, the score, the Fremd Vikings 2 and the Loyola Ramblers 1. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. We'll be back with the third period of tonight's action in just a moment. The Metro Chicago Sports Network ready to get underway with the third period of tonight's action between the Ramblers of Loyola and the Vikings of Fremd. The Scholastic Cup. We're ready. Ready for the face-off. The draw, Sean Behrens fed it back to Mangelli. Up ahead and overled on the pass to Young. Dwyer labeled Mangelli pretty hard. Near side, Dwyer overled him down into the zone, deflected off a stick. Stedman left it there. Mack with Dwyer. Mack fed it to the near side. Up ahead, Buddy Wallace. Wallace picked away, and Skoglund fed it ahead. Back into the zone. Here's McHugh. Rich McHugh centered it to Dwyer. Shot! Deflected off a leg, I think off Angeli's leg before it got to the net. Over to the far side, here's Sean Behrens, busting it out of the zone for the Vikings. Sean Behrens, dipsy doodle around, shot, and Weeks fed it to the far side. Marute went down hard, and a puck underneath him, and the whistle stops the play. As Ed Marute hatches the puck over on the far side. So we'll have another face-off. Just on the way to the third period of the Scholastic Cup. The draw is cleared out to center ice, and all the way down, Stedman made the save. Dirk Turnberg, he got bumped by Coulson. Tom Clardy with Lutweiler, Jeff Jacobs, and now the two, Turnberg and Coulson, got entangled, and the whistle stops play. And the face-off on the far side, while everybody glares and look at each other unfavorably, but nothing called on the penalties. Now we are set for the face-off. McHugh put his body in to try and block Behrens. Behrens cleared it out ahead anyway. Wallace tripped Bobby back into the zone. Rich McHugh. McHugh tried to sweep around Behrens. McHugh and Behrens. Behrens strong arms it ahead. Bouncing puck. Mike Clardy. And now flipped out to Buddy Wallace. Wallace to the far side. Wardlow busted up by Dwyer, but Wardlow got it into the zone anyway. Tripped Bobby back behind the net. Bobby over to the far side. McHugh up ahead for Dwyer. Mangelli smelled it out and fed it back to the Ramblers' end of the ice. Down goes Davis. Sean Behrens is shot by Mangelli and the save by Weeks, I think. Back Kim, give and go to Davis. Shot, the save! Bouncing puck. Now Inch, shot by McCarthy, the save. Behrens. Dwyer tried to keep it in the zone. Now McCarthy touched it. Mangelli flips it into his own bench. And Mr. Mangelli just pushed the linesman and got himself a 10-minute misconduct. Nothing goes up on the clock. Mangelli, a 10-minute misconduct. And I think they're trying to figure out whether or not it goes. So Jim Mangelli gets a 10-minute misconduct at 11:39 of the period for pushing the linesman. The linesman was trying to stop altercation, and Mangelli pushed him and gets the 10-minute misconduct. He was lucky, technically, that could even be called a game, or in fact a gross misconduct, depending on intent. He was lucky there. He merely pushed him and got the 10. Again, it depends on intent, depends on your referee. Lots of things there. Now the face-off. Gustafson's shot was a little wide to the outside. Wallace. Here's Sean Behrens to the far side. Flip back down into the zone. Buddy Wallace. Gustafson. Wallace flipped it into the zone. Delay offside. Ramblers controlling their own end. Gustafson up ahead for McCarthy. McCarthy with Clardy. Lutweiler. Buddy Wallace pulls it free. Wardlow. Wardlow turns around and dumps it into the zone. Back around to the far side. Andy Skoglund. Skoglund ahead for Brown. Buddy Wallace. Here's Sean Behrens. Behrens shot. The save. Out to McHugh. And now Mike Clardy. Clardy dumps it into the zone. Gustafson. Gustafson flips it in. Mack with Marut. Mike Mack. The near side, Kyle O'Keefe off McHugh to center ice. Skoglund, McHugh, O'Keefe, and offside. Offside. Here's Tom Clardy. Clardy dumps it into the zone. Back behind the goal line. Brought to the near side. Davis up ahead. Dwyer, he went down. Marute ahead for McHugh. Rich McHugh with Turnberg. And Turnberg muscled McHugh to the ice. Turnberg. Here's Turnberg coming the other way. The pass to O'Keefe into his skates. Here's Ed Marute. Marute with Colson. Now Tom Clardy tried to feed it out of the zone on the near side, on that far side, and cleared out to center ice and back into the Rambler end. Kevin Davis sets up the play as Fremd makes the line change. Dwyer back, give and go play, broke down real quick, dumped back down into the zone. Back goes Palmer with Sandin to the far side. Now Sandin, Heinrich Sandin, fed it out to Clardy, the shot, and that boomed wide to the far side. Mike Mack. Mack's shot ran into traffic. Sandin turns around. Sandin right in front, shot, the save. Or maybe just shot it a little wide. Here's Lutweiler. Lutweiler into the zone. He had it poke checked off him. Here's Dwyer. Dwyer in, shoots, save, rebound, no underneath. Stedman. Stedman made the nice initial save on the shot by Dwyer, but he got it under his pads. Got it under his pads. Don't put me on the camera there. I've been on the camera more this year than I've ever been in the past. Usually I don't go on the camera at all. But if Channel 5 and Sports Channel want to put me on, well, offside at the face-off, Cozen and Clardy. And the draw to the near side. Buddy Wallace has it there. Wallace to the far side, Tom Wardlow. Fremd into the zone. Wardlow to the corner. Back behind the net, Skoglund, his own net, near side. Mike Clardy had trouble controlling the bouncing puck. Wallace and whistle, hand pass against Fremd. Hand pass against Fremd. Whistles it down. Stopping play. 8:32 to play here in the period. This has been a real exciting hockey game. We're set for the face-off. The drop and the draw is back to Tom Clardy. Clardy tried to find Turnberg. Turnberg was looking the other way. Out to center ice and back to the Ramblers end. And cleared into the Rambler bench. The Ramblers finished second in the regular season in the Metro North. But beat out Glenbrook North. Beat Glenbrook North, the first loss for North in season play. They played Naperville Central, or Naperville North and Lake Park to get here. There's the cranker, the shot, the save on the shot by Darius Sika. Marute flipped it out of the rink again, and the whistle stops play. Fremd finished first in their division. Automatic advance because of the number of combined teams in that division. Then advanced with victories over Glenbrook North and a victory over Naperville Central. A convincing 10-0 victory to get here. Mike Brown into the zone. Mike Brown centered it. Oh, just a little overlanded was Ed Marute. Now right for McCarthy. Set up the puck and boomed it wide. Here's Brown with a shot right through on a shallow angle. Near side, Wallace and Bobby entangle a little bit. Davis fed it out to center ice. Brought back in and offside. And the pair of number 14s, Clarity and Brown, glare at each other, sliding into the zone. The last loss that Fremd had was to Glenbrook South last year in the quarterfinals of Metro. Glenbrook South then went on to win the Scholastic Cup. The draw is controlled by the Ramblers. Here's Dwyer with the boomer, the save by Stedman, and he holds on. Now O'Keefe and Cozen, and the referee got pushed in that and did not call it. O'Keefe pushed Cozen into the referee, and the referee was the one that got the check on that one. Piece of tape on the ice delays the face-off. And they move O'Keefe away from the referee, from the Loyola fans, rather. And Clarity and Skoglund having a little silliness. Now Dwyer, the shot to save. Dwyer, rebound, scores! We're tied. John Dwyer got his own rebound, pets it home. After the play, we had some silliness, and we're going to have coincidental penalties coming up. One on Stedman and one on Colson. Colson gets a minor. Make it Rich McHugh. McHugh and Stedman, coincidental penalties, and a water bottle accidentally thrown out on the ice. Two-two tie. Face-off is back into the zone. Turnberg. Wardlow. Bouncing puck, picked up by Sean Behrens. Behrens got around the man down. He went. Nothing called. Puck is free. Shot in the save. Pulled free. Here come the Ramblers back the other way. Lutweiler 3-on-1. Lutweiler tried to drop a pass. Here's the shot. The save. At the same time, Stedman grabs it and holds on. Same time that Stedman got to the puck, Colson went for the shot, and now Colson and Clarity have a few words. Mike Clarity, there are two Clartys. Dwyer unassisted, calling it unassisted. Must have run into a Fremd player before the shot. Far side, here's Behrens. Wardlow with Lutweiler on him. Behrens got the shot, the save, and Andy Weeks holds on. .6:41 to play in the third period. .6:41 to play in the third. Puck just dribbles wide. Kevin Davis cleared it all the way down, and they'll wash off the ice and went through the goalie crease on the near side. Bobby tried to hold it in out to center ice. Tripped Bobby, dumps it in to the far side. Stedman left it for Mack. Mack on the near side for Sandin. Ricocheted into McCarthy. McCarthy kept it in the zone deep. Mike Brown with Clarity. And the puck sits on that far side, kicking around a little bit, and the whistle and the stoppage. And then Clarity and Brown still kicking around a little bit. McLaughlin standing there watching it. Some of the Loyola crowd. And we're set for the face-off on the far side. Loyola had an extra player out there. Turnberg wraps it around to the near side for Wallace. Wallace bumped by Skoglund. Puck squirts to center ice. Dwyer ahead for Kim. Kim has it again, dumped into the zone. Clarity with Dwyer. Tom Clarity on the far side. Kim, there's the shot by Gustafson, the save by Stedman. Kim got bumped. John Dwyer chases it down to the corner. Out to the point, Gustafson. Gustafson with the shot, ran into a leg out front. Near side, Sean Behrens skates it into the zone. Sean Behrens dropped past it. Kim has it. Kim cleared it out to center ice. Kim back the other way. Kim with Wallace. He's brought down. Here's Wardlow. Back into the Loyola end. 2-2 tie. Give and go. Dwyer, Skoglund. Andy Skoglund tries to go through himself. And Stedman clamps it and holds on as Dwyer tried to split the defense. Skoglund, rather, tried to split the defense. 4:56 to play here in the third period. We go till we get a winner. 2-2 tie. 4:56 to play in the third period. A full house tonight. Offside at the face-off. Colson tried to center it. Knocked away by Jeff Jacobs. Jacobs ahead for Sandin. Sandin offside. Sandin was in ahead of the play himself. And I think maybe the winger over here on the near side too. I think Darius Sika was also in ahead of that play. 4:48 to play here in the third period now. Darius Sika. Sika in, takes the shot, through the sticky wickets, went to the far side. Brown up for Cozen. Cozen avoided the check. Brown takes it and dumps it into the Fremd end of the ice. Darius has it there. Darius Sika fed it out all the way down into the zone. Picked up by Kevin Davis. Davis in the corner. Near side boards. Here come the Ramblers back the other way. A lot of end-to-end action in the third period here. Davis dumps it into the zone. Heinrich Sandin brings it up. Looks for Sika. Ran it in. And McCarthy dumped it out and dumped right back in by Mike Clarity. And cleared right back out by Kevin Davis. Everybody making a line change. On the near side, it dribbles into the Fremd end of the ice. Mack has it there. Here's Buddy Wallace. Picked up briefly by Marut. Down went Wallace and Marut. There's the shot from the point and the save and held on. The shot taken by Matt Palmer. .339 to play here in the third period. Offside again at the face-off on the near side. Marut has it again. Shot! Oh, and the save by Stedman. In tight, Marut dribbles free. Stedman grabs it and holds on. And they will have to disentangle everybody a little bit. And we'll have a face-off here on the near side. Down to 3:30 to play here in the period. And the face-off between Behrens and McHugh, right down here in front of us. Fed out for Wallace and Skoglund. Skoglund kept it in the eye. No, here's Behrens the other way. Behrens tried to find Wallace. Skoglund. Sean Behrens took it away from Skoglund. Behrens now pulled free. Here's Rich McHugh the other way. Got a penalty coming up on Fremd. There's a centering shot. Marut, and now another one, and now Wardlow over here. Got a minor for high sticking. And maybe another penalty coming in here. We definitely have a minor for high, or possibly even a major for high sticking on Fremd coming up on Adam Gustafson back in the Loyola end of the ice. Buddy Wallace with the penalty. We will see if that is a major. It may. And we're set for the face-off. The fans screaming a little bit. As emotional as I think the players may be at this time. Here's Wardlow. Wardlow dumps it into the zone as they're penalty killing now on that slash in the slot. Near side. Here's Dwyer. Marut just wide of the net. Dwyer out to the point. Davis. Davis shot, ran into a leg out front. Clarity now picked up by McHugh. Rich McHugh deep behind the net. McHugh sets it up out to the high slot to the near side. Dwyer shot, ran into Mack. Near side. Lutweiler kept it in the zone. Dwyer bouncing puck. Mack tries to clear it. Lutweiler. Sean Behrens picks it free. Behrens 2-on-1. Behrens fakes it. Behrens. There's the shot. Shot it wide on the open net. Wardlow scores on the back door. Tom Wardlow on the back door. Behrens took the shot it wide on the backhand, and Wardlow puts it home. And it's 3-2. Favor of Fremd with 2:08 to play in the third period. Ramblers will keep the power play. The draw goes into the Ramblers' end. Picked up by Andy Skoglund. Skoglund back behind the net. Skoglund ahead for John Dwyer. Dwyer brings it up the ice. Dwyer sets it up. Dwyer up ahead for Marut. Marut dumped it in and got bumped by O'Keefe. Stedman let it go by. John Dwyer has it. Dwyer sets it up to the point, and Skoglund back to Dwyer. Dwyer. Skoglund cranks the shot to save. Right in front, bouncing puck out to Davis at the point. Davis keeps it in, tried to wrap it around. Whistle. And the net's moved. The net's off its stanchions, stopping the play. Minute 27 to play in the third period. Minute 27 to play, the net moved. Stopping play, face-off going to take place at the far side. We have 21 seconds left on the slashing penalty. Jim Mangelli back on following the 10-minute misconduct. Fed it. McHugh tried to find the defenseman and fed it like a goal, like a football. Behrens got hit with a stick to the face. Skoglund dropped past it. Dwyer shot, pad save. Dwyer has a rebound. Shot is goal! Outside the goal! Rich McHugh with the goal! And we're tied at 3! I think they actually had 2 goals in there. The first one went in. He waved it off. The second one, it actually went in by McHugh. The first one was Dwyer, and I think even the Fremd players thought it was in and gave up on the puck, and McHugh took the rebound and dumped it home. But we're tied at 3 with 1:05 to play in the third period. They're calling it from Trey Lutweiler. The goal is Trey Lutweiler that got it. Down to 1 minute to play in the third period. To the far side, here's Mike Clardy. Rich McHugh has it. McHugh. He's bumped heavily, picked up by Sean Behrens. Now Dwyer. Mike Clardy. Bounced out to the red line. Now here's Skoglund, here's Sean Behrens. Wardlow back for Behrens. In too tight with the shot. Over to the near side. 30 seconds to play in the third period. Bouncing puck, picked up by Skoglund. Skoglund wraps it around and out to center ice, picked up by Mangelli. Jim Mangelli rags it a little bit. Now tried to find Wallace and underlet him. Back into the zone, and they whistle. And it's icing against Fremd. Icing against Fremd with 21 seconds. .21 seconds to play. in the third period. Yes, we go to overtime. And some pushing and shoving on the near side between Clardy and Bobby. Offside again at the face-off. That was the draw. Dwyer now picked away by Sean Behrens. Behrens up the ice. Behrens tried to bust in. He got entangled a little bit. Now here's Bobby. Dwyer. Lutweiler shot the save by Stedman. And now pushing and shoving after the play. And we're going to have some penalties coming up at the end of it. Bobby and Wardlow still entangled. And now we got some penalties coming up after that one. Four seconds left in the third period. Wardlow. And now we'll see what all the penalties are here at 4 seconds left. And yes, that spills over into the overtime when we get there. Wardlow goes and sits. I would think Trip Bobby from Loyola will sit for 2. Make it Kevin Davis. Buddy Wallace goes in and sits. I see a 2-1 here. Sitting in the box. Wardlow and Wallace, the 2 line mates of Sean Behrens, are both in the box here. And now it will be explained by McLaughlin to Skoglund and Mangelli, the 2 captains here. But what it is Fremd gets 2 penalties and Loyola 1. So the Ramblers will have the man advantage out on the ice. Will skate 5-on-4. Now we are set for the face-off. The draw, Sandin. Dumped it in, and that'll do it. We'll go to overtime. At the end of regulation, the score is the Loyola Ramblers 3 and the Fremd Vikings 3. We will go to the overtime period till we get a winner. This is the Metro Chicago Sports Network. We'll be back with overtime in just a moment. Oh. Minute 56 of power play for the Ramblers. Here's Skoglund, far side, as we've gone to overtime on the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Sean Behrens had his stick lifted. Mangelli dumps it in, and he made the mistake of whistling it down. So it is linesman error, and the faceoff goes back to center ice. Linesman error. And the faceoff goes back at center ice. We're in overtime for the Scholastic Cup. Sean Behrens dumped it into the zone. That's where Skoglund has it. Andy Skoglund fed it to the far side. Rich McHugh McHugh on the breakout for Dwyer. Up ahead, John Dwyer has it. Dwyer with Maroon. Dwyer rags it to the corner. Back out to the point, Skoglund. Skoglund fakes the shot. Skoglund to Dwyer. Back to Skoglund. Skoglund fakes the shot to Dwyer. Dwyer back out for Gustafson. Sean Behrens. Gustafson got a little flustered and dumped out of there by Sean Behrens. Gustafson fed it to the near side. Off the referee, Sean Behrens. Behrens tried to wrap around. Sean Behrens controls back behind his own net, behind the Loyola net, out to the point and cleared out. Clardy has it. Clardy waits and then tried to clear it, ran it right into Behrens. Dumped back down into the zone. Picked up by Gustafson. Gustafson ahead to John Dwyer. Dwyer tried to find the man McHugh. Did so, but underlet him just slightly with the pass and dumped back down into the zone by Mike Dahl. Picked up by Skoglund, who brings it up the ice on the breakout. They have 15 seconds of power play. The cranker and the save by Stedman. Jeff Jacobs to the far side. Dahl bumped by McCarthy. The puck in their skates, and now the whistle and the stoppage. 2 seconds left on the penalty. 5:06 to play here in the first overtime. Three tie in the overtime frame. Sean Behrens and Brandon McCarthy will do the honor. Now the draw goes back behind the Fremd net, brought to the near side. Heinrich Sandin. Sandin brings it up the ice. The penalty is over. Tripped Bobby. Bobby overskated it. Down went Wallace. Tripped Bobby. Centered into the slot. Here's Trey Lutweiler. Lutweiler into the zone. Trey Lutweiler turns the corner. Shot, the save. Gustafson came up with it. Gustafson and Wallace, down they went. Now picking free and picked free by Behrens. Sean Behrens into the zone. Sean Behrens tried to sweep, couldn't get through the men. Sandin, wraparound shot save. Puck dribbles wide, taken to the corner and cleared. That will be icing against Loyola, and it is. We got a penalty for high sticking coming up. And a penalty for high sticking. And a Loyola penalty for high sticking coming up on Trip Bobby at 4:03 of the overtime period. We have the timeout. Well, if nothing else, this has been a barn burner of a hockey game. Ramblers tying it up. I think they've actually had 5 goals tonight. We're talking in the stands with some impartial people, and they agreed with me on the one that I called a goal that the referee said was no goal. The second one that set up the tying goal by the Ramblers was also a goal. Looked like to me. But Trip Bobby goes and sits 2 for high sticking. And the face-off coming up now inside the Loyola end following the timeout by the Fremd Vikings. 4:03 left to play in the overtime. First of the overtime. We go till we get a winner. I had one of these games one time, went to 6 overtimes. Hope we don't go through that. That was in a state quarterfinal game. In fact, it was these same two teams that did that. Wardlow picked free briefly by McHugh. Sandin, give and go play, broke down, or Sean Behrens that was, broke down. Near side, held in by Clarity. Deep to the corner. Back behind the net, centered, all the way out to the point. Behrens couldn't keep it in the zone. Sean Behrens retreats to his own blue line. Bouncing puck for Mangelli. Wardlow with Wallace. Wardlow, give and go for Wallace right through the slot. Near side, back behind the net, picked up by Kevin Davis. Davis didn't get it out of the zone. Down went Davis. Sean Behrens into the slot. Palmer, whistle, and the moving net stops the play. 57 seconds left on the penalty. 3 minutes left in the first overtime. So 3 minutes exactly left to play in the overtime. 57 seconds left on the penalty to trip Bobby for high sticking. Face-off. Now the draw on that far side out to the point. Mangelli. Jim Mangelli in deep. Give and go for Wardlow. The shot into the slot. And Clarity couldn't keep it in the zone. Mike Clarity to Jim Mangelli. Ahead for Tom Wardlow. Wardlow into the zone. Wardlow with Gustafson. Sean Behrens. Behrens brings it to the near side. Behrens, 20 seconds left. Now Clarity on the penalty. Backdoor shot, a goal! Sean Behrens, and it's over! Sean Behrens with the goal at 2:20 of overtime, and it's over. And the Fremd Vikings are the Scholastic Cup champions for the second year for the second time in the last 3 years. Oh, super hockey game. Now has been a presentation of the Metro Chicago Sports Network. Finals in state. That'll be our next broadcast down the network line. And we say so long, everybody.